Okay.
According to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, there are over 11,000 lakes and approximately 829,000 registered boats. With all of these boats and lakes in the state, it is important that everyone that operates a boat knows how to do so safely. It is important to know the local rules and regulations regarding boating. It's important to plan ahead and be ready for unexpected events. And it's important to use some common sense and think about what you're doing. Unlike operating a car, in the state of Michigan, you're not required to have any special training or license. But there are many things that you'll need to know, and of course the laws are at the very top of that list. So while in most cases you're not required to have a license or safety class to operate a boat, it is strongly recommended by state officials and law enforcement. The one exception to this is that anyone born after December 31st, 1978 is required to have a license, or a boater's license, when operating a personal watercraft, which is a jet ski or wave runner. There are many rules that apply out on the lake that you would not necessarily know through common sense, and you'll need to take a class for. Example of this would be that out on the lake there are no lanes or roads that say, drive on this side, turn here, pass here. When you come across another boat, you'll be expected to know who has the right-of-way and what you're supposed to do. There are also many safety considerations that are not necessarily laws, but are a good idea to follow. Being safe on the water is as much about planning ahead and being ready for the unexpected as it is about knowing the laws. You will be required on your boat to have a certain amount of safety equipment, but it is always a good idea to keep some extra things that aren't necessarily required. Some of these things may be a first aid kit, cell phone or radio, or some sort of visual distress signal. You are also required to have one life jacket per person on the boat, but it's also always a good idea to have additional flotation devices, whether they be additional life jackets or floating cushions. This way, if anything happens to the ones you have, you'll still be safe. It is also always a good idea to let somebody know that when you're leaving and you're going out on the lake and when you plan to return. This way, if something does happen to you out there, there's somebody that is looking for you and can send help if necessary. So knowing all the laws and safety precautions is good, but you also can't underestimate the power of just using a little common sense out there and thinking about what you're doing. An example of this would be exhaustion. When you're out on the lake and having fun, it's very easy to be more tired than you're expecting. So you're always going to want to be careful and stay close to your boat just in case you do get overly tired and you know you can make it back. And if you do get tired, take a break, drink some water, and rest for a few minutes. You also need to be careful with alcohol out on the lake. A little common sense here can be very useful. You're allowed to drink while you're on a boat, but you're not allowed to operate the boat while intoxicated. So make sure that you pace yourself, you take it easy, and always have a designated driver. Following all this advice can keep you safe while you're out there and help you have fun. Boating in Michigan is a very popular pastime with all the water we have and all the boats that are out there. So you're going to want to make sure that when you come across another boat, you know what to do. So you make sure you want to know all the laws, you want to make sure you plan ahead, and you want to make sure you use some common sense. When out on the water, it's almost certain that you're going to run into one of Michigan's 829,000 other boats. So knowing what to do can keep you safe and help you have fun.